In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how much I spent on my trip to Marrakesh, Morocco in the month of May 2024. And I need to say that this applies to only the month of May because I understand that prices will differ depending on the time of the month that you are going. It's not like the prices differ as such, it's just that some of the prices of the things such as flight and a couple of other things could differ. However, I'm just going to be giving you guys a breakdown of how much it is in total that I spent all through my Morocco trip. If that sounds like something you're interested in, keep on watching. Hey loves, Jay here and welcome back to my channel. In the month of May 2024, myself and my friends went on a group trip, and that trip was organized and planned by one of my friends. Her name is Dolakbo. I'm going to put her handle on the screen. She really planned this trip like very well, okay? And I'm just going to be giving you guys the breakdown of everything that was spent, like I said, and yeah, just so that you have an idea of how much it is you would or could possibly spend per individual and per group should you decide to visit Marrakesh, Morocco. If you are interested in someone planning your trip, you know what to go to. Okay. All right. So let's go into the breakdown of everything that we spent in Marrakesh. I have everything written up in my book here just so that I do not forget anything. And the very first thing we spent on was visa to Morocco. Okay. And the visa cost £75. Yeah, so everyone had to do their visa. I think Galapa did hers first, and then the rest of us just followed. And each person spent £75 on getting the Morocco visa. Now the Morocco visa is not very hard to get, honestly. It takes about 2 to 3 days or sometimes 24 hours depending on when you apply. I remember I applied on a Tuesday and I got my visa on the Wednesday. So it's very easy to apply. They just ask you for your details, your passport details, where you live, where you're coming from. I think that's pretty much everything they asked. And they would ask you to make payment. And once you've made payment, they will tell you that they will get back to you in, I think, 48 hours, and they did get back to us in less than 48 hours. Okay, so you apply today, you would most likely get your visa the next day. It's like very easy. The next thing we spent on was our flight. So let me tell you guys something about this flight. We were thinking when we decided we were going to go on this trip, mind you, we had been planning this trip, I think, since January. Yeah, so imagine planning a trip for 4 months to 5 months. It's not easy. When we saw the prices of the flight, we were thinking, oh, it's going to come down with time. Little did we know that the prices would just keep going up, 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 up. At the end of the day, we ended up spending £240 for our flight. Meanwhile, we had seen it lesser, I think sometimes in March, but we were hoping that the prices would, come down, but it did not. Okay. So if you are planning to go to Morocco and you see the flights cheaper, I would say that just book it, book it. Okay. Don't be like us. Don't wait till very close to your trip before you book your flight. Okay, book your flight as early as possible. I promise you, whatever time it is that you're checking, it will be much cheaper at that time than in future. So just book that trip. Okay, now let's go to the accommodation and the activities that we all did in Morocco. The first place we went to was Agafe Desert, and we spent one night in Agafe Desert. So we had to pay for 3 tents. So the initial plan for this trip was we were going to be 6 persons going. However, last minute something came up for the last person and she could not make it to the trip. So we ended up being 5 persons. However, I think we had made payment for 6 persons already. So there was really nothing we could do. We could not get a refund. That's why I ended up staying alone in my room. If you guys watched the vlog, the plan was for 2 persons to stay in each tent, and I ended up staying alone basically. So for Each tent we paid £229 per tent. Okay, so that makes it 114.5 pounds per person. So each person paid 114.5 pounds for a night at Agafe Desert. The night in Agafe Desert came with, of course, a tent which you're going to sleep in. You guys saw the video of the room and the ambience and the activities that were available for us to do at the desert. We were also privileged to breakfast and dinner, I think. And the breakfast and dinner were three-course meals. If you watch the vlog, you know what I'm talking about. And also, this package also came with transport back to Marrakesh city from Agafe Desert. So the money that we paid, the 100 and approximately £115 that we paid at Agafe Desert covered for a night. Um, it also covered for breakfast and dinner, three-course meals, and it also covered for transport from Agafe back to accommodation in Marrakesh city. I'm going to come to that very shortly. So that was all of that, and it also covered for the fire demonstration thing that we had. That was so lovely, by the way. Yeah, it was really lovely. I forgot to mention that from the airport to Agafe Desert, we paid a total of £34 for everybody. So we took one vehicle that was, I think, 6 seats. Yeah, I think it was 6 seats. So it pretty much took everyone at the same time, and we paid £34 for that. Now let's move on to um the quad biking and camel riding. If you watch the vlog, you would notice that the person that received us at Agafi Desert definitely told us about activities and if we wanted to, do quad biking and camel riding. I think if we were going to do that at Agafe Desert, then we would have paid extra for that. But we had already booked, Dolapo had already booked the quad biking and the camel riding with another person, which was much, much affordable according to her. So for the quad biking and the camel riding, we spent £42 in total for everyone. And we just took our stuff from Agafe Desert. All of our things were in the car. The driver stayed with us through our activities, waited for us, and we went quad biking, which was so much fun, by the way. And the camel riding is not or wasn't any of our favorites because take it from me, that has to be the most overrated activity in Marrakesh because, like, what are you guys fussing about? Like, you need to let me know. What are you fussing about? What is the hype behind this camel riding? The camels were stinking, they were oozing like bad stench. So, what is the fun about it? And maybe because I'm also scared of heights, the moment where the camel sits and then you have to climb on the camel and then it goes up, my god, life almost left me because I'm like, how did I use my money to buy trouble? Like, how did we get here? I In my opinion, and I mean my friends also agree with me, the camel riding, if we knew what we know now, could have been something we would not have participated in because we just went there. Like, it just felt like it was for the pictures and the Abibi, come to Morocco kind of vibe. But aside the pictures, no, the camels were very smelly. Like, they were not well taken care of. I think it was something I was telling Pelumi during the trip was that the camels are not well taken care of. Like, most of the camels, rather, it wasn't even just the person or the group that we booked our camel riding with. Throughout our journey from Marrakesh to Agafe, it was something I noticed. The camels were looking like they were not taken care of. In fact, some even had like little to no hair on their body. Like they're not well taken care of. And it just left me wondering that you guys are using these things to make money, but you are not taking care of them. Like, please, let two and two make four. You're not taking care of the things that bring in revenue for you. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like in that aspect, they have to do better when it comes to the camel riding. So if you're someone that does not like dirt and you totally hate smells and stenches, um, I would not recommend camel riding for you because you're going to feel exactly the way I felt. Like everybody was like, "Oh my god, it's smelling." I would even insert. No, I wouldn't do that. I was going to insert a video of when the camel was peeing on itself, and my friend was saying it was peeing on itself. I'm like, "What? How is that happening? Like how?" But I'm just saying that it's an overrated activity for me, and I would never in my life be doing camel riding again. Same goes for the horse, okay? Because at one point in the vlog, you would notice that we also got into that what's that thing called? That horse thing, like a horse carriage, rather. Yeah, I think that's what I'm looking for. We also did the horse thing. The horses are better, they're not as smelly as the camels, I mean, but they're still smelly. So I don't know. I'm just giving you guys a heads up. Don't put too much thought into what I've said, but I mean, that's my review for the camel riding. However, the quad biking was fun, like absolute fun. If you do not know how, you see, if you have never stepped on a brake in your life, you would be able to do quad biking, because that was one of my fears when the doctor said, "Oh, she's booked quad biking," and I'm like, I don't know how to drive. Oh, I don't know how to drive. I mean, I was learning sometimes in COVID, during COVID, but I don't know how to drive. I cannot even remember where the brake is from, the clutch, or all those things. And she's like, "No, no, no, don't worry, it's easy." And very true, when it was time to ride, the guy just showed us like the brake and the accelerator. I mean, that's pretty much all you need to maneuver yourself, and it was very easy and it was fun at the same time. Okay, so that's pretty much my review for the camel riding and the quad bike. Now, let's talk about our accommodation in Marrakesh. I was very intentional of giving you guys a tour of that apartment because what I was blown away. That apartment was magnificent, like spot on. Like it was everything it should be. So I've always heard that a lot of people stay at Riyadh when they go to Marrakesh. While I don't know exactly how the Riyadhs look like, I believe it was nothing compared to this accommodation that we booked. Okay, so this accommodation is a three-bedroom accommodation. It's basically like an Airbnb, but I mean, it was in Marrakesh anyways. So it came with three bedrooms, two toilets and two bathrooms. Of course, one of the bedrooms was en suite, while the other two rooms had to share the toilets and bathroom. And then we had another toilet downstairs in the living area. We had, of course, the sitting room, which you guys saw. We had the television, and you could even see that myself and my friend had like a a movie night. Um, and then what else was there? Yeah, there was also washing machine. We had ironing boards. We had iron. We had an extra duvet. What else? And then in the kitchen we had a dishwasher and oven, gas. It's basically like when you go into an Airbnb. That's really how the apartment was. It was a really lovely apartment, and then we just outside of the kitchen and the living area, we had our own swimming pool. Hey, come on! Like for how much? I'm coming. I'm coming. We had our own swimming pool, and we had like a sitting area where like you can just sit and chill. if you do not want to get into the pool. And I think at some point that was what myself and my friend did when we were playing Ludo, and the others were in the pool at some point. Now, for this accommodation that I'm talking about, how much did it cost to book this accommodation? So we stayed there for 3 nights. Remember, we spent one night at Agafe Desert, and the next day, after all our activities, we then went to Marrakesh City. So for this accommodation, we spent £101 per person. And for 3 nights, that would make a total of £333 per person. So in total, for the whole accommodation, all of us spent £665.92 for the accommodation in itself for 3 days. Also, did I mention that the accommodation also has a rooftop swimming pool that I don't know if I put it in the vlog, but at some point, myself and my friend also went to the pool at the rooftop, and the view was amazing. It was really good. Now we got to our accommodation on Wednesday evening. That's the one in Marrakesh. And the next day we went to Uzud Waterfall. Now for Uzud Waterfall, we spent a total of £79 for everyone. That's for the five of us. £79. Um, and for the Uzud waterfall, it involved transportation from our accommodation to Uzud. It also involved a tour guide. It also involved like the waterfall and the tour guide showing us everywhere in Uzud waterfall. Which, meanwhile, let me tell you guys something about Uzud waterfall. Do not make the mistake of going there with slippers or sandals or something of that sort. Think of Uzud waterfall as climbing the mountains. Think of it as going hiking. Wear your sneakers, boys and girls. Wear your sneakers, because if you do not, by the time you are done with that trekking, that hiking, what do you tell you? You will be having pains in your leg. At some point, we had the opportunity to have lunch at a restaurant. And for that, for the food, it was a fixed price where each person paid a total of €12 per person, which was £10 per person. And they have like a three-course meal as well. And then you can choose from the options that they have. I think if you want anything extra outside the what's it called, like the list that they've given you, then you get to pay extra. But aside that, no one took anything extra. We just stuck with what we were given, because the food was really like, it was a lot and it was very delicious. It was not something we were used to. However, we were willing to try it. We were very optimistic and it turned out really nice. There is this biscuit. I don't even know if it's I don't know if it's called a biscuit, but it was something that they kept giving us at like more like every time they give us tea. I think myself and my friend also got like 2 packs at the airport, because we saw it at the airport, and then she got one, I got two. It's really nice. It's like something that they give you when you're having tea. And by the way, their Moroccan tea is amazing. And they would usually give you that biscuit when they are giving you the Moroccan tea bar. Yeah, that's just really that. That's for the food. I'm just looking through to see if I'm not missing anything as to Uzud Waterfall. Yeah, we are done with Uzud Waterfall. Now let's move on to the next activity, which is the YSL Museum and the Jardin Majorel tour. That's what I'll call it. So for that one, we spent a total of £15 per person, and we had to go to Jardin Majorel first before we then went to YSL Museum. We booked both together, so it just saved more money and just gave us like access to more things. So I would say that for the Jardin Majorel, if your time says 2:30, my dear, be there by 1:45, 1:30 safe. Be there by that time, because you see the queue that we saw when we got there. We're like, are we going to enter in our time like this? Anyways, At the end of the day, we did not end up going at 2:30 because 2:30 was our time, and I think we ended up going in at half past three or past three, sharp. Yeah, we ended up going at past three. So get there early, okay? Because the crowd, it's a tourist center, so just think of it as the same way I'm going to go and see this place, 1,000 and more people are also going to see this place. Just think of it like that, and you will know that you need to be there early. After the Jardin Majorelle and YSL Museum tour, which was absolutely nice, later that same night we had dinner at Buddha Bar. Buddha was beautiful, from the aesthetics to the music to the performance. I don't even think I showed all of that in the vlog. Maybe that will come in a reel, but it was magnificent. It was beautiful to watch. And I also like that they understand the fact that people are coming from various aspects of the world, various walks of life, various countries, and they merged all of these to just create different performances that when I heard was it Fino's song that they played, I'm like, what did I just hear? See all of us dancing because we felt included. We felt like they knew that we were there and they wanted us to feel welcome. So if there is anything about Moroccans, their hospitality is second to none. Honestly, they are very hospitable people. They know how to make you feel very welcome. They know how to make you feel at home. They know how to make you just feel like you're in the right place. At Buddha Bar, this would depend on what you eat. Another thing that I have noticed about Moroccans is they are very particular about three-course meal, because tell me why everywhere we were going to and we were paying for their food, it came like it was a three-course meal. Remember in Agafe Desert, we had a three-course meal. Now we were in Buddha Bar, we were also giving a three-course meal. So they give you like the what's that thing called? Where they put like all of the list of things that they have and that you can just choose from. And what you choose would depend on how much you spend. So some of us spent more than what the other person spent. For myself, I think I spent a total of £79, £76 rather. Yeah, I spent a total of £76, and that was a three-course meal, which, by the way, was amazing. You see, my main meal, I cannot even remember the name, but it was like pasta with seafood thingy going on. And the spices that they used to make this thing, I was this close to asking the server if you could tell me like the spices, because there were things that were in that food that were just making it taste very different. It was very lovely, okay. And even the I think I had a cheesecake for dessert. Yeah, I had a cheesecake. That cheesecake was fluffy, was jolly. Like when you tap on the cheesecake and you doing, come on, that cheesecake was lovely. Like, and it tasted really good. So for food, the Moroccans, they know how to. They really know how to do it. So after the dinner, we went home and we were going to leave the next day, which was a Saturday. So our flight was for 6 p.m. And before that time, we decided to have a massage and pedicure. And for that, we spent, at least I spent, 400 dirham, which converts to £32. So we, depending on what you choose, I think myself and the local chose an hour of massage, and I think there was someone that chose 30 minutes. It just depended on the service that you were basically going for. Another expense that I would also like to bring to your notice is food. Okay, so food after we left Agafe to Marrakesh, The only time we ate out was on Friday nights at Buddha Bar. So we thought we had everything to our disposal because in the kitchen we had knives, we had cutleries, we had pots, plates. Like it was like come and just feel at home. So we felt it was wise for us to, go grocery shopping and just buy things that we could use to make our food. And that's exactly what we did. So everyone dropped an amount for the money that we used at the grocery shopping. And for the grocery shopping, we spent about 1,200 dirham, which in turn totaled to 96 pounds. That was for everyone. That's pretty much all of the expense. I also need to mention that we also took like something that I like to call a pocket money, just so that if we want to buy things, we could buy. So I got this Hagan oil. You remember during the vlog, we went to like the traditional Hagan oil village where those women were, just turning that I don't know what it's called, that pot thing that takes the oil out of the seed. And myself and my friend got this. So this is like they say it's the original Akan oil. It smells really nice. Of course, it smells very nice. Another thing that I got from there is this lipstick thing that I am going to try. So this is what it looks like. So it's like a lipstick or blush thing. Honestly, you can use it in different ways. So you just spray like a little water on it and then just rub. Let me see. It's even staining my hand. And then you just rub and apply it as your blush or as your eyeshadow or as your lipstick, as the case may be. I am yet to try it. I bought two. To be honest, I cannot remember the price because I got for myself and for my friend that could not make it to the trip. So yeah, and all this will come from your extra money. For the extra money that I took, that's like my pocket money, I took 190 euro. So what I did was 190 euro was at the time one, I think 176 pounds. I'm not sure, I cannot remember correctly, but I went to the bureau de change in the city center and I changed from pound to euro, and so I took euro there. And then luckily for us, the accommodation that we got was at the center of Marrakesh. So we're pretty much in the middle of where everything was happening. So just on the next street to where our accommodation was a bureau de change as well. So we went there and just changed euro to dirham. We're just spending either euro or Moroccan dirham. And that is pretty much everything that we spent for the Moroccan trip. To be honest, I think per person it came to a total of about 700, 750 pounds for this group trip. I feel like if we did not go as a group, then it would be much more expensive. You would be spending close to £1,000 or £1,100 if you were to do the same activities that we did in Marrakesh. We are going to be having another group trip coming up. Now, if you are interested in me contacting you when we are ready to plan that group trip, let me know down in the comments so that I can come back to this video and then message you or give you a call to say we are planning this trip. Are you interested? Okay, because the next one we are planning is going to be better than this one. Trust me. This was a first time thing and it came out as amazing as this. We had absolute fun. Like it was so much fun. We did not want to leave. Overall, Marrakesh was fun. It was awesome. The people of Marrakesh were very, very hospitable and very, very nice people. Will I want to visit Marrakesh again? I think so. I would say yes, but not do the same activities. Definitely not. I want to, if I'm visiting Marrakesh again, I will probably want to do the hot air balloon. Yeah, I probably want to do that. So that's pretty much everything that myself and my friends spent, both together and personally, for the Marrakesh group trip. I hope this was helpful, and I hope that it gives you an insight to how much you could possibly spend per person. And should you decide to go in a group, trust me, you would spend lesser than you would spend if you went alone. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share to your friends, and subscribe if you haven't. Okay? And I'll catch you guys in my next video. Love and kisses. Bye.